Today I'm sharing secret fall cheats that are going to help you to decorate more beautifully, to have fabulous decorations, and to entertain in a unique and one-of-a-kind way. Now, I love to have people over and host parties, but I always like that unique touch that makes your party different than everybody else's. Now, we are going to start off by creating some pumpkin napkins. I have these orange cloth napkins that I purchased at JCPenney. I'm going to lay my napkin out flat and then grab a fork. I'm going to put that fork in the center of the napkin, pull the fabric up just a teeny bit, and then begin to twist the fork. The fabric will spin around the fork and create a circle. It almost looks like a rose. I'm going to take my napkin now, flip it over, and place it inside of a ceramic dish. The ceramic dish will hold the napkin in place and keep it from unraveling. Right now it looks like a beautiful orange rose, but because we are turning it into a pumpkin, we need a stem. I'm going to be using these caramel cowtails. I love these. These are so nostalgic for me. My mom used to buy these when I was younger, and I usually chose between these and those caramel slapsticks. You know, those little pops that have a little swirl in the middle? I loved those. Do you remember those? Anyway, okay, so we're gonna use these caramel cowtails as stems. In order for the cowtail to stand up in the middle, I need to press the cloth napkin down in the center. And now that I have space, I can place my caramel right in the center. To go along with our stem, we need some fall leaves. I just headed upstairs to my Cricut Maker, and I had my Cricut Maker cut out 2 different size leaves in a light green cardstock. You can also use some stickers as a substitute, and that would be just as great. So I'm going to take 2 of these cardstock leaves and place them at the base of the stem. I repeated this process with all 8 of my cloth napkins, the cowtail sticks, and the leaves. And look at how adorable our little pumpkin napkins are now. These are so cute. I'm going to set them in the center of each of my place setting on my dining table. I love how they add a pop of color to the center of our plates. The caramel gives your guests a before or after dinner snack. And talk about affordable. I already had the cloth napkins. I simply folded them in a way that became a seasonal decor piece. We're gonna stick with that pumpkin theme and move right along to create some pumpkin ice cubes. Yes, pumpkin ice cubes. What we need to create these ice cubes are some oranges, cinnamon sticks, and a silicone treat mold. What we need from the oranges is simply the rind. So I just peeled those rinds right off the orange. You want to make sure that you get long segments of rind. So I made cuts in the oranges so that the rind peeled off evenly and resembled little flower petals. Now I'm going to take a sharp knife and cut strips out of these orange rind slices. Now I'm going to take those thin orange rind pieces and curl them into a circle and then place them inside the mold. Now they are going to have a hole in the center, which is perfect because our pumpkins need a stem. We are going to use some cinnamon sticks. Now right now these cinnamon sticks are too long, so we're just gonna cut them down. I got a pair of kitchen scissors and I cut these cinnamon sticks into about an inch long piece. Now I can take these cinnamon sticks and press them right inside of the orange rind circle. I don't want the cinnamon sticks to fall over, so we're going to secure them a little bit more by getting some more of that orange rind and just wrapping that around the base of the cinnamon stick. The more orange rind I added to our ice cube trays, the more it started to resemble a pumpkin. They're getting a little taller, a little rounder, and the best part is the extra orange rind will help stabilize the stem. Now that everything's in place, all we need to do is fill it up with some water. I poured in some water and I spilled all over the place. which is fine, it's just water, so I wiped it up. Once each of my molds had been filled up with water, I simply put it in the freezer and let it set overnight. Now these are frozen solid. They've been in the freezer overnight, and I'm just going to unmold them. Oh, look at that. They pop right out. Oh my gosh, you guys, those are so adorable. So not only are they cute, but these are a flavor bomb because we've got the orange and the cinnamon, which is perfect for this time of year. So I can just put it inside of my mug and then fill it up with some apple juice. And as the ice melts, it's only gonna make the juice more and more flavorful, which is so great. I can see a whole bunch of these ice cubes inside of a punch bowl, bobbing around. That would be just so cute. You could also heat up your cider, put one of these cute little ice cubes inside, and again, as it melts, it's just going to add more and more flavor to your drink. Now, I used water because I wanted you to be able to see the orange, but you could actually fill up your molds with any kind of juice that you wanted, so you could add more flavor to these ice cubes as well. With a little creativity, some orange rinds, and cinnamon sticks, we were able to create these one-of-a-kind festive pumpkin ice cubes. Next up, I'm going to share a fashion hack with you to help your old sweaters or cardigans look like new. What we need is a segment of ribbon. I have this white ribbon, and you're gonna take your sweater, unbutton the top button, get your ribbon, thread it through the opening, and then you're just going to rebutton it. Just put that button right through the hole once more. And now I'm going to take my ribbon and simply just tie it into a bow. Look how cute that is. You guys, you could coordinate your ribbon with any outfit that you have. If you need a fall color or a Christmas red and you just don't have it, just get ribbon and thread it through the top of your cardigan, even a button-up shirt, and that would just theme it so beautifully. But I think that that was an easy fashion hack that anyone can do. Let's do a fun DIY next. What you're going to need is some coffee filters, water, and some food coloring. We are going to create some fall flowers out of our coffee filters. So what I'm going to do is take a stack of 6 coffee filters, make sure that they are stacked on top of each other, and then I'm going to fold them. I folded them in half and then folded them in half once more. Then I got a pair of sharp scissors and I scalloped the edges. I'm going to create 4 flowers, so I repeated this process on my 4 stacks of 6 coffee filters. Next, I took 2 plastic containers and I filled them up with water, and then I added food coloring to the water. I added several drops of red food coloring to 1 container, and then I added yellow to the other container, and then I put a couple of drops of yellow food coloring in the red container. I just mixed things up. I wanted some unique fall colors, so this is where you can really play around and create the color scheme that you want. Now I'm going to take my coffee filters and dip them into our colored water. I'm going to put the scalloped edge in first. I dipped them in about 2/3 of the way. Then I flipped it around and dipped the pointed portion into the yellow food coloring. And you can see how quickly those coffee filters just soak up that water. This is where you can get so creative. You can choose whatever color you want. You could do a solid color. You could do more than just 2 colors. I repeated this process with my 4 coffee filters. Now I'm going to lay them out flat on a cutting board and let them dry overnight. Now that it's the next day, you can see how dry these are, and you can also see the color saturation. Now I'm going to take my stack of 6 coffee filters and put a staple right in the center. I did this with the 4 circular coffee filters, and now we're just going to fluff them up. I pulled it up and kind of mashed it together a little bit. Then I continued to pull up each consecutive layer and crinkle it until I got the desired look. Look at how beautiful these coffee filter flowers are. These are absolutely stunning. And you can see the color variation. You can see that little bit of yellow, this peeking inside, that gives this more of a lifelike, realistic feel. If I were to do it again, I would have added more red food coloring. These kind of ended up a little more peachy than orange, but that's okay. It was trial and error, and I really do love the way that these look. I can just imagine having a whole bunch of these flowers out on a buffet, at a party, and they were so easy to make. We're gonna put these off to the side, but we are going to use them in a project a little later on. But let's move on to our next fall cheat, and it's going to be to make some ghost cookies. Now, if you're like me, during this time of the year, you are pressed for time, and so we are going to actually be using some store-bought cookie dough, which is just fine. It's going to be fabulous. So I got a package of cookie dough. This is just plain sugar cookie dough. I'm going to plop this entire brick of rectangular cookie dough out onto a floured surface. I'm going to add a little flour to the top and then also to my rolling pin because we do not want it to stick together. And then I'm going to roll it out flat. You don't want the dough to be too thick because we're actually going to be sandwiching these cookies together. Next, we need a heart cookie cutter, which doesn't make any sense right now, but I promise it will in just a minute. So I'm going to cut out several heart cookie dough shapes. Now that all the hearts are laid out on parchment paper, I'm going to get a sharp knife and cut my heart in half. Then I'm going to take half of the heart and bend the point into a little tail. The first half of the heart is going to be left plain, and then the second half of the heart is going to get 2 eyes and a mouth, and we are going to use an icing tip to get that effect. I'm going to use the larger side of the icing tip for the mouth and the smaller size for the 2 eyes. Once they're cut and shaped, I'm going to slide them right over onto my baking sheet. Then I simply repeated this process of cutting them in half, bending the tip of the heart into a tail, and then adding the eyes and the mouth. Once everything had been cut, I put them inside of the oven and baked them at 350 degrees for 12 minutes. One problem I did have with the cookie dough is that it did seep out a little bit. It didn't hold the shape as well as I wanted it to, but that was no problem. When it came out of the oven, I just reopened the holes on the ghost mouth and eyes, and it was good to go. So now I've got all of my ghost pieces. Each one of them has a partner. And because it's fall and because we are sticking with an orange theme today, I got some orange marmalade. I simply added a dollop of the marmalade and spread it out. You want to add enough marmalade that it's going to cover the cookie, but not too much because you don't want it to seep out the sides. Once all of my solid cookies had the marmalade on them, the ghost with the eyes and the mouth was placed right over the top. You can see that orange marmalade peeking through the eyes and the mouth. It's such a fun pop of color. Because ghosts are white, we're going to add a little bit of powdered sugar over the top. I got my sifter and powdered sugar and just sprinkled powdered sugar right over the top of our ghosts. This finishing touch makes these cute little ghosts come to life. I'm going to display our cookies on top of an orange and black polka dot plate and a black cake stand. The ghosts pop against these dark colors. How cute are these ghost cookies? I love them so much. Not only did I love them, but my family loves them because you can see I have nothing to show you. They're gone. Everybody ate them all. So they were a big hit at our family. They are so cute. They were so easy to put together, and the only cost was the cookie dough and the marmalade, so they were very affordable. If you showed up to a party with a tray full of these cookie ghosts, they would be a hit. A couple weeks ago, I decorated these large cypress trees with some leaf garlands and some acorns, and they are perfect for fall. But I'm going to give you another way to decorate your outdoor bushes and trees for Halloween. Now we are going to use these fabulous lights. These lights are from Ollny. They arrived and I just simply pulled them out of the box and they were good to go. They come with a remote, which is so fabulous because I can choose a variety of different ways that I want these lights to either sparkle, shine, stand still, or I have this huge rainbow of colors that I can choose from, which is fabulous because we have so many seasons and holidays. I want them to be orange. Now, the reason why is because we are going to be making some ghosts, and we are going to make them with some Dollar Tree plastic tablecloths. So what I had to do was add my lights first. Now, these lights are fabulous because they are encased and they don't get tangled up like normal lights do. So I simply just wrapped these around my trees, and mine actually is long, which is so fabulous. Okay. Another thing that I love about these lights is that they do not get hot. So you don't need to worry about your trees catching fire because they stay at a cooler temperature. I'm going to be adding 2 of these plastic tablecloths to each tree because they're so tall. If you had some shorter trees, you could get away with 1. So what I did was I just ripped a hole right in the center, and we're going to treat it as like a skirt. So I'm just going to put it right over the top and wiggle this down the tree. Now I'm going to take this top tablecloth and just put that right over the top. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Now every ghost has got to have some eyes. So I've got some paper eyes that I actually cut out on my Cricut Maker. I just got some black cardstock and my Cricut Maker just cut out some paper eyes. Because our eyes are paper and this is plastic, we are just going to hot glue them right over the top of the plastic. Now that our eyes are on, we're going to add a hat to the top. I actually purchased a set of these hats at Target. It was in a multi-pack. They were only $10, which is a great price. Now I don't trust this just to stay on, so what we're going to do is hot glue it so it doesn't go anywhere. So I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue to my hat, and then I'm just going to pop it on the top, tilt it just a little bit because, you know, ghosts move around a little bit. And there it is, as cute as can be. So now that we're done with our first ghost, we are going to move over to our second cypress tree and make a ghost out of him. We are now done with our adorable and very affordable tablecloth ghosts. And you saw how quick they were to put together. And I actually love how the tablecloth moves around. It looks like the ghosts are they're just floating. We've got some floating ghosts, which is so fun. Now, one thing that you cannot see right now are the lights underneath them. So I'm going to show you those at night. Right now they're orange, but we've got green. We've got blue. We have pink and yellow and turquoise. I mean, you guys, I could go on and on and on. And not only do they have a variety of different colors, but I can do a multicolor, and then I can make them fade into different colors. I can have them jump. I can have them strobe. There are just so many things that these lights can do. They are absolutely amazing. So yes, we are using them for our Halloween outdoor decorations today, but we can use them for Christmas. I'm actually really excited for Christmas time and any other time during the year. Those lights make these ghosts come alive. The color variation in the lights is fabulous. The extra sparkle makes it very mysterious, and it really lights up my front porch, which is so festive for Halloween. Now, I will leave a link to these fabulous lights in my description box so you can head over and check them out for yourself. If you like DIYs, home decor, or styling tips, then you've come to the right place. I love sharing all things related to the home, and we've got so many fun upcoming holiday and seasonal videos, and I want to share them with you, so make sure that you're subscribed so you won't miss out on all of the fun. All right, because the ghosts were such a big hit, we are going to move on to another tasty treat. And if you can believe it, this one's going to be even easier than the ghost cookies. I've seen this one before, so it's nothing new, but I've never tried it, so we're gonna try this together. What you're gonna need is a container of store-bought donuts and some vampire teeth. I purchased mine at Target. The package had 6 glow-in-the-dark vampire teeth, and they were only $2. I'm going to be using the chocolate donuts because they look the most devious. So what I did was I simply just squashed these teeth together and then pressed them in the center of the donut right in that hole. Now, every scary Halloween monster needs some googly eyes. So I have these candy eyes, and to make sure that they don't slide off our donut, I whipped up a quick icing that was just powdered sugar and water. I added 2 dabs of this icing right where the eyes should go on each of my 4 donuts. Then I took those candy eyes and pressed them gently into the icing, and the icing holds them in place. What an easy way to theme a dessert into Halloween. And you guys, this literally took me like 2 minutes to do. It was so fast, so quick, but look how cute these little monster donuts are. I can just see little kiddos' eyes light up if you brought a tray of these into a party. And I don't know which one I like better, the ghosts or the monster donuts. Which one do you guys like the best? I think they're both cute. And as you can see, once again, I do not have any to show you because my family ate these donuts right up. We have had a sugar-filled weekend, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of the holidays, isn't it? To have tasty treats and to enjoy just sitting around, talking, and making fun memories together. Well, we've done a lot of fall snacks, so let's move back over to the decor section. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I purchased some fall napkins at Hobby Lobby, and I Mod Podged them on top of a tray. This is such a beautiful tray. I love it. But guess what? We have some leftover napkins, and I don't want them to go to waste. So we are going to use them to beautify a glass container. This glass container is the perfect size for our napkins. I'm going to take 2 napkins, unfold the first one, and place it inside of the glass container. To keep it in place, I'm going to get 1 little piece of double-sided tape, and I'm going to place that on the inside of the container. You can't even see the tape, so it's great for this glass container. The tape will prevent the napkin from sliding down. I unfolded my second napkin and placed that on the back. Once again, I'm going to be using some double-sided tape to keep the napkin standing upright. And just like that, we have completely customized a clear glass container into fall. These napkins are so pretty. I love the neutral florals that are on them. This is another way that you can customize a piece of decor into a style that fits in with your specific color scheme. We've got to add some flowers to our container, so I'm going to get some magnolia flowers. I purchased these a few weeks back, and I actually used them in my dupe video with the pumpkin. Do you remember that cute little pumpkin that we just made? And I added these magnolia flowers to that. I actually ended up buying 2 of these bundles of magnolia flowers. These are from Ross, and they were only $5.99. So what I'm going to do is take this first bunch, and I'm going to bend the stem. I bent it twice, and then I placed it inside of my container. Then I'm going to add 3 more magnolias to fill in the gaps, and then also some magnolia leaves. And look at how beautiful our magnolia flower arrangement looks. The flowers coordinate beautifully with the napkins because they're both soft and neutral, but both of these items fit into fall. You can completely customize the container to your own style, into your own color scheme, simply by putting in the napkins of your choice. You can also customize the flowers and leaves so that it's a one-of-a-kind autumn decor piece. We are going to make a super simple centerpiece with a container. You can choose any container that you like. I've got this cream one that has these gorgeous gold knobs on the side, and then you also need a garland. This garland is a little bit more rustic. It's got some beautiful pumpkins on it and some fall leaves and some pine cones. What you're gonna do with your garland is just coil it up. Just gonna wrap it up so it almost looks like a wreath, and then you're going to put it right inside of your container. Just poke it right in there and it's gonna fill it right up. Look at that, you guys. Look at how pretty that is. Do you remember those coffee filter flowers that we made earlier? Well, now is the time where we're going to use them. I'm going to place a few of them inside of my container. I'm just gonna nestle them right inside of the gaps of the garland. These flowers definitely kick up the pretty factor on this arrangement. And if you didn't have flowers like this, you could get a velvet pumpkin, you could use acorns, pine cones, or you could even add additional fall leaves to your arrangement. But now we have this gorgeous centerpiece that we can put in any area of our home. And if you are a novice floral arranger and floral arrangements make you a little nervous to do, this one could not be any easier. Coil up that garland and place it right inside of your bowl. I get super excited when I show up at a party and there's a giant charcuterie board laid out. Just makes my heart so happy. So we are going to create some individual charcuterie cups that you can use at any party. We are going to be doing it with 3 different containers, so you have 3 options and you can choose the one that works best for you. What I have is a paper cup with some pumpkins on it. I've got a cauldron and a jack-o'-lantern. Then I got a whole bunch of charcuterie board food. I got some cheese squares, salami, grapes, and some flatbread crackers. We're going to skewer the salami with some wood skewers. I folded the salami up and poked that skewer right through the meat. And then I did that same thing with the cheese. I skewered all that cheese onto our bamboo stick. I added both of these items to my paper cup, and then I added some grapes in the front and that flatbread cracker in the back. For our next 2 containers, we are not going to be using those bamboo skewers. We are going to be using some treat pop sticks. I purchased these at Hobby Lobby. They are too long right now, so I'm going to cut them in half. And then I took this stick and I poked it right through the salami and through the cheese. And now I can add these skewers to my cauldron. Again, I added some grapes in the front and a flatbread cracker to the back. For our jack-o'-lantern, I'm also going to be using those treat pop sticks. And then I just repeated the process. I just poked that salami and cheese onto those sticks, added it to my jack-o'-lantern with those grapes and flatbread crackers. By getting some fun containers and a couple of festive sticks, we have definitely themed our charcuterie board into a seasonal treat. If you showed up at a party with these, or you had people come over to your house and these were displayed, everybody would just be so excited. I gave you 3 different options, and depending on what kind of party you have, you've got those more sophisticated paper cups. You've got the Halloween cauldron for a Halloween party, and the jack-o'-lantern can fit into any theme of party that you'd like. It could be a little more sophisticated, or it could be a Halloween treat as well. You could add these to a tray, put them on a buffet, or even walk around and serve your guests individually. I think that all of these secret cheat fall ideas today were so clever, so unique. I haven't seen the majority of them, but I'm so glad that I made them because they are one of a kind and whimsical. We did some beautiful things. We've got outdoor items, we've got indoor items, we've got party ideas. We did tasty food and even a fashion hack. And every project we did today was so affordable, which proves that you can live beautifully and you can do it throughout the year. I hope you got some inspiration or some ideas today from these secret fall ideas. If you like this video and want to see more like it, subscribe so I can share those with you. Thank you so much for watching.